Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Chiefs Blitz podcast presented by Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. For your mortgage solutions, call Dave today at 816-405-5831, 816-405-5831. After all, he's pretty good. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, your Chiefs Blitz podcast, brought to you by the one and only Dave Purdy. Gentlemen, it is post-Raiders week. The Kansas City Chiefs have defeated the mighty Oakland/Las Vegas Raiders 31-17 in a game they absolutely had to have. Welcome. Hope you all enjoyed the game outside of the first quarter as much as I did.
Don't forget about LA, Nick. Don't forget about LA.
Oh, yeah, forgot.
They were in there too.
Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders. There we go.
Yeah, and we like Four Guys in a Bar so much. We like drinking so much. We're gonna do it every show from here.
Every show. Man,
no, he did.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, man. Let's go. We're celebrating the right way.
Hey, speaking of celebrate, go ahead and celebrate with the first sponsor of the day.
Let's do it. All right, I want to introduce everybody to the one and only Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. Dave is a very good friend of mine. I've known him for decades. He is a huge Chiefs fan, and he is also your person to call when you're looking to get a mortgage. You can reach Dave at 816-405-5831. Hey, listen, we know rates are high for mortgages. We know some people have gotten rates in the low numbers, but everybody still has high credit card bills. You can consolidate. You can get a second mortgage. You can just get an evaluation on your loan. Give Dave a call at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is pretty good. No, he's actually more than pretty good. He's the best. So, again, he's your trusted advisor.
That doesn't rhyme. It doesn't really flow.
All right, real quick, guys. I want to give a hello to my guy Kareem. My guy Kareem says hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Kareem. Thank you, and thank you for stopping by yesterday. We were trying to try something new after the game.
Oh God! Don't get me started.
Fifth box Kareem, we call him.
Yeah. But it was a great. He actually joined. We actually got to hear his voice.
Really?
Kareem joined. Man, he's an interesting fellow. I would say, man. The man is Jack. The man fitted, man. I mean, he can be fit guys at a bar, man. You know, but he's a good guy, man. Good guy. Yeah.
Speaking of good guys, Andy Reid has become the most winning coach, and not just one franchise, but both franchises, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. He has passed Angstrom at 125 wins in his career as a Kansas City head coach. What you think about that, Lou? Go ahead and start us off.
Well, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, to go to a second franchise and stick around for over a decade. I mean, I can't recall any recent ones where that's happened, and that's why I guess he is the guy that he is. I don't know that we'll see it again anytime soon. The way coaches are going, hell, Frank Reich just got fired 10 minutes ago, and I don't think he made it. He didn't make it through his 11th game. He might have been fired at halftime for all we know. But Coach Reid is just the best. Home run hire at the time by Clark Hunt, one of his first big moves as the guy in charge, and nothing but love for Coach Reid. And maybe Sirianni sticks around long enough in Philadelphia to beat that record, but for the time being, he's the best, and wouldn't rather have any other coach right now, quite honestly.
Right. Hey, go ahead, Nick. Tell us the stories about these good coaches.
First of all, I want to give proper props to Hank Stram, because Hank Stram is the guy who started this franchise as the head coach. My neighbor growing up, good friend of the family's. I always considered him a second father. I'm getting kind of mushy here, but Hank was just absolutely the best. He set the expectations. I think Marty did a terrific job. The fact that he got 101 wins is pretty impressive considering how bad the franchise was when he and Carl Peterson took over. But Andy Reid, my goodness, when there was all the talk that the Arizona Cardinals were going to hire Andy Reid, what does Clark Hunt do? This is at a time when Scott Pioli was the GM. Scott had fallen out of favor with the Romeo Crennel stuff and the decision to hire Todd Haley. So basically, he and President Mark Donovan get Andy at the airport in Philadelphia, keep him there for upwards of 8 to 11 hours with the Arizona Cardinals private plane waiting on the runway to take Andy to Arizona for an interview after he interviewed with Kansas City. Clark Hunt basically told the people in the know, I'm hiring the next coach. The rumor was he was going to hire Mike Shanahan prior to Scott Pioli hiring what's that guy's name? Mr. Haley, terrible head, Todd Haley.
Todd.
This kid.
I like the Todd.
Yeah.
Todd's great on the radio, but he stinks as an NFL head coach. And
hello.
That's another story for another day. But
Right.
Clark would refuse to say no. Scott Pioli had no say. This was Mark Donovan who kind of set the table. Mark used to work, with the Eagles before he came to Kansas City. Obviously, he knew Andy. They convinced him not to get on the plane. They said, here you go. You can have whatever you want. We'll make you the highest paid coach. You can handpick your GM. It was ultimately John Dorsey. Again, another story for another show, how that all ended. But nonetheless, he came in, immediately turned the franchise around. I think they won their first 9 games, got a primetime flex game against Denver. They ultimately lost, made the postseason. And just look what he's done the last 7 years straight. AFC West titles, hosting the Arrowhead Invitational for the AFC title game 5 years in a row. It's probably going to be 6 this year. Just remarkable what he's done, and he's done it with good players, not so good players. A lot of his coaches have left, a lot of turnover on the roster. Just a fabulous contribution. A great hire by Clark Hunt. Clearly his best move, other than making sure that Patrick Mahomes never plays it down for anybody else. We are so lucky, Chiefs fans. Lou and I can contest. We lived through the 50 years of crap. This team was shit. They were terrible. There was nothing going right between those 5 decades. Consistently, Andy rolls in. He makes Alex Smith a winner. We'll get more on Alex here in a minute. He makes, he has Jamal Charles. And then Mahomes comes along. And then Kelsey emerges and Tyreek Hill. And then Tyreek Hill's gone, and he still wins another Super Bowl. Enjoy this time. It may last another year. It may last another 5 years or 7 years. But my goodness, this is the golden era of Chiefs football. We will never, ever be part of this again. There's not going to be another Patrick Mahomes that's going to roll up 7-8 years from now. This is it. This is your one chance. And for all those times where we sucked and we were terrible at football, now we're really good and we're the hunted every single Sunday. And that's why this team is so good. And they're good because Andy Reid just stays his course, man. He just stays steady.
I want to say a quick hello to Vincent. Vincent responding, guys. He said Arrowhead West.
Mm-hmm.
He said, amen, Nick, to that, Nick. Amen.
Let me go off of that. When I started watching football, man, and I seen, I actually got to meet Carl Peterson and what's his name? Dante Hall. Priest Holmes. I had an autographed backpack. I still talk to Gary Stills, like he still texting
Mountaineer.
chat back and forth. But other than that, man, seeing this team where it come from, I remember the years where they was flying banners over the Arrowhead, everybody coming to the stadium wearing all black with bags on their head. I thought that was the most embarrassing in time for the kingdom. But when Andy Reid got hired, life has changed as a fan. Now, if when he retired, I hope somebody on his coaching staff that steps up. And everybody want to say the other guys, but I think if one guy that will get a chance, if Andy Reid decides that, you know what, after this year, I want another ring and this is it. If he leaves, I'm handing the keys over to. I think he deserved the job as the guy for the special teams. I think I keep on forgetting his name.
Dave Toub.
I think Dave Toub deserved the job. he always get the guys rowdy up. He always pick up, like, the guy is a lovable guy. Like, I met him too. I met him at the Super Bowl, but it's a lovable guy. I think he deserved the job also.
Yeah.
If Andy Reid decided to say, I'm not going to do this no more.
I don't know, man.
I like Tobe too, but they probably will. Youth will be served.
Yeah, it's going to be mad. It's going to be
youth
mad.
will be.
That's the way of the world now. Would Eric Bieniemy be like an outside candidate? Probably not. But it may be his only chance to get a head coaching job.
This the new thing for four guys at a bar. If I don't agree with you, you will be muted for 5 minutes of the show.
Oh, timeout period.
Wow. I'm gonna say
so TMZ Todd is now the bartender
TMZ
as well.
Todd is now in bartender.
I'm gonna call it. You had too many shots.
It's only noon, man. Come on.
No, it's only no. Mine's guys with Dick Vermeil. I think Dick Vermeil was the guy that I love. Dick Vermeil was amazing, man. He took Dante Hall, Eddie Kinnison, Johnny Morton, of course, Bo Richter, Derek Blaylock, and man, he put that offensive line together, and he utilized them, man. I mean, come on, Eddie Kinnison was like a strong number 2, you know, and Johnny Morton. Like, I know all these names because they were so productive under Coach Dick Vermeil, and like I said, he turned Dante Hall to one of the best special teamers in the league that year. So, you know, that's when I really start honing in on the Kansas City Chiefs because of Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil had that offense rolling, man. You can't help but love Dick on that one.
That's got to be the best offensive line the Chiefs have ever had. Hell, it may be one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
No,
most definitely.
Those guys were
right to left, all the way across. I mean, it was Priest Holmes was just a godsend for him.
Yeah, when Willie Rope arrived, that line just became like the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And the way they ran the ball, it didn't matter who was back there.
It didn't matter.
And Trent Green barely got touched.
That's what I'm saying. Could y'all imagine Patrick Mahomes had that offensive line?
No,
with the talent.
I can't imagine it.
With that talent,
it would be unfair.
You think the tush push is illegal? That would have been illegal to have an offensive line like that.
Speaking of unfair, you are now had too many shots, Coach Drake. Get off the show. You are of the show for you are the show. You off the screen. You are in time out. I put it like this. You had too many shots. We are talking about Andy Reid here, sir. We are talking about Andy Reid. Dick Vermeil did what he needed to do. Yeah, he did all that. You know, I'll bring him back in. But that's a warning. That's a warning. That is a warning.
Mute it. You can autograph bookback signing from Priest Holmes. Mute yourself.
Oh man!
And I'm gonna get a song to go with it. It's gonna be
who's gonna mute the muter?
Right.
Damn.
Come on, talk real quick. Hey, real quick, guys. Kareem says Nick and 50 members of the WPI killed me for wanting Herm to stay.
I was with you, brother.
These are the days.
I was with you, and
Herm was a preacher.
I'll tell you Herm told me, because when all the rumors were coming out Nick. At the end of his at the end of his 3rd year, and he goes, I was talking to him. I was very candid. I said, sounds like Scott Pioli is going to be the new GM. And he goes, I will never forget this. He goes, be careful what you wish for. And you know what? He was dead on, 100% right. Even though this was the hire to make, he was the it guy. It clearly didn't work out for him in Kansas City. After hiring Todd Haley and passing up on some other great coaches, all of the advice of his father-in-law, Bill Parcells. No. Herm was absolutely right. The Pioli era was not good in Kansas City. The only benefit was he was so bad at his job that it got us Andy Reid. So I guess there's a silver lining.
Hey, there's still. We were talking about this before we went live, but that piece of paper that was infamously in the stairwell when Scott first started. Again, this is allegedly, but I think he's admitted to it later. And he does a spot on Good Morning Football every week, and he's really become a pretty good dude.
He's good.
And I think he learned a lot from his experience. But the way the story went was he first got hired. He's coming up the stairwell, didn't use the elevator, whatever. There was a candy wrapper just kind of left in the stairwell. And rather than picking it up, he left it there just to see if somebody would come along and clean it up. He went back, maybe like a week later, it was still there, and he kind of used it as this attention to detail type lesson that we have to have everything buttoned down. And it was the Patriot way, trying to travel again. And like, come on, man, just pick it up and throw it away.
You got to be attention to detail. Since you don't want to agree with that, now you going into timeout.
It didn't work, did it?
It didn't work. No.
Hey.
You know what? You know what the worst part about the Pioli regime was? The food in the press box went from barbecue left, barbecue right, barbecue middle,
to best choice,
to stuff you see on the TV show MASH. That's how bad it was.
They had porridge. Y'all had porridge.
Yeah, porridge would have been an improvement.
But you know what? Real quick, guys, breaking news real quick. Marcus Peters had just been released from the
I was just about to get into it. You just gotta let me say
mute yourself for being late, sir.
I was just about to say it. But again,
you good.
Thanks for tag teaming it in, Coach.
I got you, man. I got you, man.
Again,
did you guys notice anything on the field yesterday with him?
Yeah,
usually it's not a performance issue. It's always kind of antics.
He got benched. After the Sky Moore whiff,
after the Sky Moore shook him up, he got benched. I said, I hope Dre didn't see this play. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I was
going to dive into it, man. But yeah, he's done.
No, he won't be done. Somebody will pick him up. I guarantee it.
If I'm the Chiefs, I'm picking him up.
I'll put him on the practice squad. Absolutely.
You know what? With this style of defense,
practice squad in a heartbeat.
With this style of defense, guys, he fits it. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's scrappy. Get rid of Williams and put in Marcus Peters.
He and Andy Reid love each other. They've got a good relationship.
I'll be with you on that.
Nick, you feel me, Nick? Peters over Williams, right?
No, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
You're not going there, Nick?
Not yet. No. I'll put you in timeout. Williams will be just fine.
So we're going to put you in timeout. I think Nick, I think that's gonna be a funny when I get all the kinks out. That's gonna be a funny part of this.
I'll get a timeout graphic. I'm gonna get a timeout graphic from Lynn.
Yeah, boy, it's gonna be
right, Lynn. Pay attention. I'm calling you today. We need a timeout graphic.
Listen.
Again, speaking of, congratulations to Andy Reid, man. That's one of the things that
Coach. Thank you
for being our coach, man. That's amazing, man. But one more thing that's amazing that happened yesterday. We're going to talk about Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce had reached 11,000 yards in NFL history. Was the fastest tight end to reach 11,000 yards in NFL history. What you think about that, Nick? Go ahead and lead us off.
Well, Travis is Travis is the king right now. He's clearly on top of the world. Right. 11,000 yards in NFL history, and it's 11th season. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible to me that he's able to do that consistently. And he's at he hasn't played well this year. He's dating Taylor Swift. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but nonetheless, man, he is the guy that Mahomes reaches out to, looks for. He's a great teammate. And I thought the best play he made yesterday was after Sky Moore made that third down catch, and one of the Raiders defenders piled on top of him, and he went over there and just moved him and got in his face. And I thought for sure he was going to get a penalty.
Absolutely.
But that's what he's about, man. He is team first. And when Rice scored that touchdown, I swear to God, I thought the headbutt that Kelce put on Rice was going to knock Rice on his tailbone. I mean, he just whacked him, and just good job, young man. And it was just absolutely awesome to watch. And he's the ultimate professional. And I wrote a column last week where I thought, could he hang it up here pretty soon? But if he plays with that kind of fire like he did yesterday, I don't think he's going to stop playing anytime soon. And I think he's the best modern day tight end I've ever seen. probably go down in the top 2 or 3 of all time. I think you still have to go back to Raymond Berry. He was outstanding.
Yeah.
A lot of really great tight ends, throughout the league. Tony Gonzalez, obviously. But Travis, to do it with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, to be this successful is impressive.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it real quick. He's like a Dallas Clark and a Shannon Sharp.
Yep.
If you look at it like that, personality of Shannon Sharp, right, and then the route running of Dallas Clark
in the hands. Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing. The guy is so well put together, man. And then, like you said, he's the heartbeat of that offense, or you can say the heartbeat of that team. I mean, Travis Kelce is amazing, man. Like, there will never be another Travis Kelce.
No,
never be.
It's probably one in Georgia. What you think about it? Luke?
Well, Dallas Clark, just going back to him, I think he was the one that started the tight end university at Iowa, right? When he came and played with Peyton Manning. But as far as Travis is concerned, like Nick said, last show we're talking about, well, how much longer is he going to play? And then he puts up a performance like yesterday, and not that I mean. Again, the throw by Patrick was ridiculous, but just him kind of getting over the top, finding his spaces, and then again, Patrick being able to like drop it in there just goes to show that Travis recognizing defenses exactly the way the quarterback does, and it's just been sweet music for the last 6 years or whatever it's been. And again, Nick, you said, well, he's not having a great year. He's on pace for 1,000 yards. I don't know. This will be like his 5th or 6th or 7th in a row, at the tight end position, which is unheard of. He's just stacking on his record of consecutive 1,000 yard seasons for a tight end. So the numbers just continue to grow. But again, Nick, the intangibles, absolutely. He is a team guy. He loves to play football. He loves everything about it. So he's going to continue to play, I think, as long as he possibly can, as long as his body holds up. Yep. He's not moving, quite the way he used to, but when he needs it, he can summon it up. And he did a couple times yesterday, and it was great to see. And he deserves every bit of accolades we pour on him.
Yep,
most definitely.
I think so. I also think so that somebody was watching the show yesterday. I watching the show Friday. I said, put him out at X. Put him out at X. Take all that double team.
There it is. Here he is. TMZ Todd. Now he's the bartender.
We've been saying that for weeks.
He's the offensive coordinator now. How many jobs you got, man?
Man, a pleather.
He's the timeout king now too.
Put him out the X. Putting out Noah Gray at tight end, and take all that double team on that side of the field. That's going to open up everything else.
Quarterback coach too. Wait till we see this film on Patrick.
Man, Luke, stop it.
But actually, if you look at it, that play, man. Rashee Rice touchdown. All the Raiders backed up, and they was all scooting towards Travis Kelce's side. Like it was 3 or 4 of them scooting over to that side. And then Rice came right across the middle, boop, took it to the house. And I've been calling for it all week, man. Put him out. If they're gonna double team that middle, that's gonna clog up everything else. And that speaking of his 11,000 some yards, he is a guy. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if he don't get the ball, everybody's still gonna go out that way and try to double team him. He making plays, not even making plays without the ball in his hands. So that's what the Chiefs got to use him at that right now. Even though he's not he's still gonna reach 1,000 some yards this season. Yeah. But by looking at it, he's one of the best tight ends or the best tight end that ever played this game. In my blood, I still say it's Tony Gonzalez. I don't think nobody. No, put me in time. I just said I still think it's Tony. I just still think it's Tony Gonzalez.
20 or full?
I think he's all of it, man. I think Tony Gonzalez is. Yeah. I think if you put Tony Gonzalez into today's game where it's all pass interference friendly, Tony Gonzalez would double those numbers.
Yeah, but Tony played in a tight end era.
Tony was built like a brute. He was built for that time like a brute. He wasn't athletic like he couldn't hang with the times now. You know what I'm saying? Because
All
these
right,
guys
how
more
about if I pull one of my specialties and break the segment? Okay, if you guys remember, you guys probably know Junior, but Kellen Winslow Sr. was just an incredible play. Now, he didn't quite have the lofty numbers. I mean, the offense was wide open, but the receivers were getting a ton of the credit. But he was just, I mean, again, from a quality, not so much a quantity standpoint, but just looking at the quality of play and what he did for that Chargers offense when they had Fouts and Chandler and Joyner and John Jefferson was in there for a while. But Kellen Winslow Jr., he made that offense go because that was the guy you had to take away. He was like their Travis, but they had like these dynamic wide receivers as well. Air Coryell, they called it, because Don Coryell was the coach. And but the bottom line is Kellen Winslow Sr. went to Missouri, big time. But just he was a scary guy on the field. He'd be up in that conversation for me.
If anybody doesn't know who Kellen Winslow Sr. is, go to YouTube. Pull up the San Diego Chargers, Miami Dolphins playoff game, and just watch what this guy did on the field. And afterwards, he put it all out there. He had to be carried off the field. He was so exhausted. That game went over. And he just made play after play after play. And the guy I'm seriously, if you want to know history of old school football, that's a game you got to watch. It was on NFL Network. I actually have it saved to my DVR because it was such an incredible game. Chiefs obviously weren't involved, but those Chargers teams were, Air Coryell was, man, that was just something great to watch.
The first time I ever saw the hook and lateral, it was right at the end of the first half, and it worked.
Yeah,
the Dolphins hit him with it, and Tony Nathan, I think, Nat Moore caught the ball, pitches it to Tony Nathan. He runs it for a touchdown, and it was like, what the hell was that? If you watch the play last night with Keenan Allen, and he throws it out to the right there to who was it? Eckler, and he makes the first down. It was better than that. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. This is why Lou and I, this is what we did during that 50-year period. We watched all these other great teams be great and do amazing things.
Why did that be us?
I'm looking for all this knowledge, man. Like,
what did we do?
Man?
What did we do wrong? What
you know what's crazy though, guys?
Deserve this.
You know what's crazy, guys?
Did Hank Stram make a deal with the devil or something?
I don't know. You know what's crazy about it, guys? In y'all era, it was some good football in y'all era, man. It was some good football, man. I'm like, because I went back and researched a couple of the games. Like from Lawrence Taylor, from Jerry Rice, Joe Montagna, Elway, Starbuck. Like in just that time, it was just good football, man. It wasn't a lot of these Nick picking calls and all this other mess. It was like both gridiron football. At its peak.
People still bitched about the refs. I mean, it was just different.
It was still a little bitchy, and Lou was saying,
They didn't have. I mean, again, health and safety was not a thing. Nobody gave a crap. I mean, it was concussion protocol
off the roster. Don't got to pay them.
If you're the quarterback and you have the ball, you're just like everybody else. I mean, you can get crushed, killed. And God forbid you throw an interception. Everybody's hunting you down, trying to block. Block the quarterback and slam. I mean, it was a different game. And you go back into the 70s, it was even worse. You had quarterbacks that had like 52, 54% completion percentage, and that was at the top of the league. Absolutely. It wasn't all this dink and dunk. It was we're going to throw it down the field.
That's why
the receivers were getting popped, even if they didn't get the ball.
Yeah. So that's why I said Tony Gonzalez.
Different sport.
I'm still saying Tony Gonzalez had different numbers. And speaking of, hold on, before you go there, and speaking of different numbers, speaking of somebody that have a lot of numbers, and to get your numbers right, and if you want a Hall of Fame on your team, let's get into the next sponsor.
Bring the house, Eric. Bring the house.
Yo, guy.
All right, I want to thank our next sponsor, Eric Hense of the Eric Hense Group. Again, another good buddy of mine. Known Eric a long time. If you're looking for a house in the Kansas City area, give Eric a call at 816-729-3785. If you know friends outside of the Chiefs Kingdom that are looking to either relocate to Kansas City or relocate from a different city that doesn't involve Kansas City, he can find a realtor in your area. He can make sure that you're taken care of. Give Eric a call at 816-729-3785. You can email him at esellskc@gmail.com. Again, Eric Haynes, doesn't matter if it's a small house, a big house, whatever it is, he will take the time. He will make you the priority, and he'll make sure that he gets you the right house that you need. Give Eric a call, 816-729-3785.
And
he don't care if it's a tiny home, big home.
I heard you, Lou.
Right.
Well, listen, guys. Tom Hood had just said something, right? He said, he said, I never heard so much crying about the referees as I do today. Yeah, for real. It's like, it's getting to the point of watching football. Now I'm just watching the refs. It's like, you can't get physical no more. It's like, okay, they hand fighting, flag on who, offense or defense. What is it, man? Come on, man. It's like, it gets to the point, it's getting out of hand to where a lot of guys don't even want to watch football no more. Football don't have that mystique no more because remember, we have helmets pads, and I get the concussion protocol, I get the CTE, I get all that, but you're a grown man. This is gladiator. This is a gladiator sport. If you were scared to play basketball, play soccer. Soccer is a little physical too because you get kicked in your head.
No, too much faking, too much acting for me.
Right, true. But I'm saying, like, this is a gridiron sport. This is fear and overcoming your fear and dealing with bullies. Now it's like there's no joy into watching it sometimes. It's like, okay, here we go again with these bad. Then the cause is just bad. It's horrible. I'm like, come on, take it back to the 70s when you was getting bit on, they biting you, they kicking you, and they get old-fashioned football.
I understand that. And speaking of old-fashioned, let's get into this old-fashioned highlight of my guy before we get into the next 7. Speaking of Victory Monday of Rashee Rice.
Big Red with the red coat. Look at that. Run, Rashee, run.
That's some good speed there. I'll tell you that.
Look at speed on Coach Reed.
Man, in shape too, ain't he? Where was he going? They're trying to get the play call.
It's a Victory Monday, guys. It's a Victory Monday, and we are celebrating very well. As it looked like the Chiefs was going to lose to the Raiders when it was 14-0. It was like I've seen a lot on Twitter. It was some people on this show. There was some people on this show, but I'm not going to point them out. But again, you know me. They said, "Oh, the drops of this." I said, "Get the guy, let him cook." You don't, like I've been saying for the longest. You don't know what you're going to know what you have in these guys, and let them do what they got to do.
Can we give props to Sky Moore? He was 2 for 2, man. I got faith in my guy. 2 for 2 for 30 plus. I'm like, okay, Sky got the hands, man. It's just the trust factor.
He's got a role to play, and I think you'll see it increase a little bit. And whether it was by design or by injuries with Tony and Hardman being out yesterday. You saw once, Rice got more and more opportunities, what he's capable of doing over and over again. So I think this is just kind of the beginning of him. Now, again, you're going to have to put up with a drop here or there because I think he had that issue with SMU as well. But at the end of the day, if he gets more shots on goal, so to speak, those drops won't be as big because if he's only getting 2 or 3 balls and he drops one, now I'm not throwing, he's not getting it anymore. But if he
I don't think he had no drops yesterday, right?
Yeah,
at least one.
Yeah, at least one wasn't his fault. The second one was.
Well, Mahomes underthrew him. The second one was surely on him.
Yeah. So Rashee Rice, let's look at the stats. Rashee Rice had 8 receptions, 107 yards. He was averaging 13.4 yards per catch. 1 touchdown. His longest reception was 39 yards with 10 targets.
For the score.
Travis Kelce had six receptions for 91 yards. He was averaging 15.2 yards per catch. His longest catch was 27 yards. 27 yards long.
Are you going to read them all, Todd?
Yes.
You're going to read them all, man.
Visually impaired.
Noah Gray had. Look, think about it. See, Noah Gray. A lot of people ain't giving Noah Gray
by his proper name. It's 50 Shades.
Noah Gray,
Shades of Gray.
50 Shades of Gray, aka Noah Gray, only have one drop on the season so far. One drop on the season. He was for 3 for 3, 30 yards. He was averaging 10 yards. 10 yards per catch with his longest of 13 yards. But again, this it's amazing to see this happen.
Wait, time out. We're not gonna cut off Scott Moore, sir.
Y'all broke down Scott Moore.
No, wait, you gonna continue?
We talked about that. You gave him a shout out already.
Yeah, you
did a great job.
Man, I was excited for Scott Moore's voice. I was excited. I was ready for Scott Moore.
That I put him in. You going to timeout, sir. See, we weren't going to do this to you today. Well, I'm not gonna put you in timeout for that.
Can we say MVS was 1 for 1 for negative 1 yards though?
He wasn't on it. He wasn't on the board.
He was on the board. For all you fantasy geeks, you're welcome.
I don't think he was on the board.
Thank you. Rasheed Rice helped me win yesterday.
But the bottom line is everything the operation looked a lot smoother, regardless of who got the numbers and what, how many. That's great. And for Rasheed, we want to see this because, again, he is the most talented wide receiver on this team. I don't think it's even close. But these other guys are going to continue to contribute. But again, the operation just looks smoother when you can spread it around and you have more threats because if he keeps putting up numbers like this, that's going to open things up more for Travis. They can't double and triple team him. If Sky's, running his routes underneath or in the seams, that's going to open things up more. So that's the encouraging thing about this is just seeing these guys making plays and the offense just opens up.
All right, real quick, Kareem says, remember, gentlemen, trust works both ways. Pastor earned guys like Sky Moore's trust, too, before they start giving up on the routes.
Sky Moore be running the wrong routes. If you go back and look at the tape, he runs the wrong routes most of the time.
So and now Todd's got the playbook, too.
I'm trying to figure out. Todd's amazing. Todd's an amazing guy here.
I watch everything. He runs the wrong routes, and that's it. So when he gets open, he's open. But sometimes he runs the wrong routes, and I'll be looking like,
how do we know that though? That's what I want to know. How do we know he's running the wrong route?
So are you telling me Rasheed Rice is a perfect specimen? Is Rasheed Rice the perfect specimen for the Chiefs now? Is he the best thing on the roster right now, sir?
As you see this catch, sir, on the sideline,
I can make that catch. Y'all can make that catch.
Look!
Is that Eli to Manningham in the Super Bowl? Wow!
Oh, good point. Eli is underrated. But good point, Luke.
Look at that ball.
Look at that.
Hey, Manningham was better though.
And he looking at the Raiders. He looking at the Raiders coach right in the eyes as he does. Look at him.
He's laughing at him right now too. Is that Marcus? Is that Marcus Peters on the coverage?
No, it wasn't on that.
He was benched by the.
But again, man, Sky Moore, he does. As you go back and look at the tape, he does run. He runs right into the defender. Then he tries to get open. Then you be like, then Mahomes looking that way. Then he like, okay.
So
let's go watch all 22 film. That's what I do.
He runs right into trouble. He runs right into trouble. Right? So Scott Moore runs a good route to get open, but he runs right into the pit. Is that what you're saying, sir? Nah, I
think I need to put him in timeout. I think he needs
to. He's leaning this way. I can't see it. I can't see him.
I'm trying to understand both Tom's perspective real quick. I'm trying to understand.
Right.
That's why I'm leaning.
He leaning right to the corner. That's why he's about to lean right into timeout.
Listen. Hey, real talk. Is Rasheed Rice? Is he the X receiver since the Raiders game? After the Raiders game, guys, is he officially an X receiver?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
They all are. I mean, again, they all run. They all. Yeah, I mean, everybody.
You better not say the open man, or you going to timeout.
They are interchangeable. I'm going to say that
interchangeable.
I don't think Coach Reed wants to label anybody with that. I hear what you're saying that he can, because of the body type, because of the skill set, he can certainly do it. So
he has taken over the Juju Smith-Schuster role. There's no question about it.
Good point, Nick. Yeah, he is.
And that's the goal. That was the goal.
He's fat.
Yeah, and he's fat. That's the goal for him for this year. So between now and the end of the season, heading into the playoffs,
right?
He needs to understand this is your role. This is where you need to be. Sit in your spots. I mean, just this touchdown play alone. I mean, it looks simple, okay, but he's got two receivers there, and you don't even see MVS on the that's MVS on the outside. And you just don't see. Look, he can't go too soon. He has to time it for Watson to clear the middle, for Sky Moore to take his guy deep, for MVS to go down and say, okay, I'm going to make sure my buddy gets in the end zone.
Oh, he did block for him. Bless his soul. He did.
That was a great play. And just look at the design.
No eye in team, coach.
You know, and
you're
that
right.
is not.
You got to do something instead of the field.
Easy. It looks like it's just, hey, just flick the ball. Even Mahomes, man, he had to wait. He had to clear till the corner committed, or to the linebacker committed to take Watson. And it's just a beautiful play. And, you know, this is what I think Andy Reid did, you know, this week. You know, he talked to Kevin Harlan, mentioned it on the broadcast. I put in my article this morning. You know, he said, listen, we had to really self-evaluate ourselves. We had to self-evaluate the play calling. We had to self-evaluate, you know, which guys we're putting on the field. And what did they do this week? Okay, what is the strength of this offense? It's routes like this for Rice. It's like the routes that they had for Kelsey, for Pacheco, for Sky Moore. They just played to their abilities and their strengths and their confidence level in the offense. And you didn't see any crazy stuff. You didn't see any, you know, you saw the one flea flicker, which, you know, I probably could have just made the throw right away and Kelsey would have still been open. But nonetheless, it was a very simplified offense that fit the personnel. Throwing a little Noah Gray, throwing a Justin Watson gets body slammed in the end zone, has the wherewithal to sit back up, get up, and sit in the spot. He didn't do anything crazy. He just sat in the spot waiting for Mahomes to find him. And even Mahomes had to kind of double clutch because he was so open. You know, so again, that's the beauty of this offense. That's the beauty of what they are. If they play like they did Sunday and the defense continues to dominate, they're not losing another football game the rest of the year and in the postseason. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't. We focus way too much on what Patrick Mahomes doesn't have instead of focusing on what he does have. This is the first game we can all agree, I think, okay, this is what he has. And what did he do? For the most part, there's a couple of big plays that he missed, but he found the open guys and he said, okay, this is your ceiling. This is your limitation. This is what I'm going to get the most out of you. Okay, so I'm going to put the ball here, here, and here. Just be at your spot. And that worked to perfection on Sunday.
Hey, real quick, Kareem said, man, Luke could have made that block. Luke could have made that block. MVS ain't earning. He's the MVS ain't earning no praise for that.
No, he gets praise for it. He gets praise for it because he was a decoy. He was a decoy that entire game. He ran deep routes the entire game.
Speed guy.
When Patrick had no desire to throw him the football, and he still makes the block. No, I'm giving him.
You got to contribute somehow.
But again, what you guys miss, as I set up and blow it up here for you guys can see that, you know, I was gonna wait till somebody's seen it, but I guess
here you go.
I guess I watched the tape.
Timeout warning. All right, go ahead.
As you look at this play, correct? Everybody watching this play, as you look, they come across. He slows it down. What is the Raiders players doing? You got 1, 2, 3, and 4 going right over here to Travis Kelce at the top, right? They're going Travis Kelce at the top. So what that leads? They leaves him coming right. They leaves Rashee Rice coming right over the middle, wide open. Again, as I said last time, guys, if you put Kelce out at the X and you put let all that double team take all that traffic elsewhere, this is the type of plays that you will have, and this is the type of results that you will have on the field.
Agree. We've been talking about it for weeks, man.
The phone call has been made. I think
phone calls.
Andy got the message. Andy must have watched the show.
TMZ Todd.
He's
going to be the special consultant from.
So the craziest part is, guys, is this the nucleus going forward for the Chiefs?
Yes,
it should be.
No question. It's Pacheco, it's Kelsey, and it's Rice. And anything you get from Gray, Kadarius Toney. I think Richie will have some input in this offense. Sky Moore. If those guys are covered and those guys can make 2 or 3 catches a game, that's it. Absolutely. That's their ceiling. That's all they have to contribute is just get a large gain or get a first down when those guys are covered. But, is it as flashy as we want? Is it like 3 all-pro, surefire, first-time, Hall of Fame ballot kind of players? Kelsey, yes. Rice, probably not. Pacheco, probably not. But for right now, the way this team is constructed, that's your nucleus along with Mahomes. If those 3 guys average over 220 to 25 yards catching the ball every week, and they're running for about 100 and 125 a game, they're going to be just fine.
Well, I like what they did in short yardage too. No, again, no fooling around, no getting cute. Let's just get behind these 3 big hosses in the middle, our offensive line. Give it to Pacheco, and if we have to, get in behind Pacheco and push him like they do in the brotherly shove. Except we
got a lot to learn about what the brotherly shove means.
It's the running back, not the quarterback.
I caught on to that, Nick.
Right,
listen though, but the crazy part about it is only Philly can run that play to perfection. Like everybody in the league and tried it, but Philly runs that play to perfection.
They're not afraid their quarterback's going to get hurt.
I put it like this: one guy didn't get credit, and I don't give a lot of credit to, is he played a heck of a game. He played a good game yesterday.
No.
He did.
No.
Yes, he did. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't give him a little love. I give him a little. I don't.
I thought you were about to say Williams. I thought you were about to say Williams. That's you had me scared for a minute.
I was going there too. I'm going there too because he did. He was down there on the field on special teams every time in the kickers. In the returners' face right there. Williams was there, so we're gonna leave that for another.
He's a special guy.
But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he did play a good game yesterday.
Man, he had 2 carries.
But it was positive yards. It was positive
blocks. He was open in the flat a couple of times. He didn't fumble the football. They're going to use him up because they're obviously not going to be here next year.
He was a little speck. He was some up, guys. Just don't matter. We're in the red zone. Let him run it.
He did his role. He got his few carries. He didn't make any mistakes.
He got his 2
what that's going to be.
But on this show, 4 guys in the bar, we just don't talk about the good things. We talk about the missed things and the missed things that could have happened. I seen something yesterday.
To it now, quarterback coach now.
Lou, is he killing it? Lou, he's everything. He's a D coordinator, the coach, special teamer.
I got to see that. I got to see that guy's business card.
He's passing out drinks.
There's not enough room for all his titles, man.
Is he a clone or what, guys? Because the man's everywhere, bro. I'm like,
from now on, forget about all those ones on the business card. Just put on there HIM. That's Todd. Todd is him.
I put it like this. Looking at this play, guys. I'm sorry. I love Patrick Mahomes, but again, he was staring down on Travis Kelce here as you look at the top of the field there.
Maybe it was his first.
You play Madden. You play Madden, right? Tell me who's wide open at the top there.
Well, listen. I guess you remember. You gotta go through your progressions now. So from this angle, he may be looking at Kelce like, okay, Kelsey's covered. Let me go to my second read. To me, that's what I think it is. I think he's going through his progressions, young man. That's what I think.
No, as you can see, Kelce is pointing right over there. If you see his arm, he is pointing over there like, hey, you got the guy at the top wide open. But you got to have Patrick Mahomes left some good. It was a lot of yards that was left on the field yesterday.
Right.
You can say that it was.
Watson was wide open. Yeah,
Watson was definitely wide open. It was one play. I seen that too. I said, man was wide open. But again, the pressure getting in your face. You got to make the fastest read. And he was like, he's not open. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to chuck it. So,
yeah. It's a good play to have for the next game.
So where did the ball go on that play?
Yeah, I went to Kelce.
He got sacked.
Oh,
that's the play he got sacked because he had. I counted. I said he had 7 seconds in that. 7 seconds.
No, 7 seconds.
Yes, you did. I counted. I said, look, I said 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
He said once before. He said once before 5, 6, 7. You speed counted, sir.
No, I didn't. I went back and watched the play. I don't have the live play, but when I was sending it to you guys.
That'll be your homework. To get the overview, Sky view for the show next week.
The 7 Mississippi play. Make sure you send that to
he
Patrick
said 1
and Nagy and everybody.
2.
And say, look at this. I'm sure you guys didn't see this, but
Absolutely.
Patrick, God darn it, Dad gummit.
I love you guys, but we got to. Even Kelsey pointed over there. He did. He said, "Look."
But there's
we've
nothing
seen
wrong.
that
That's teamwork.
Future play.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Teamwork. It's teamwork. It's okay. Patrick Mahomes need a little help too. He's not paid man.
Yeah, he only threw for 298 yards. He didn't have a very good day.
I said he only I'm not bashing Mahomes. I'm just saying, like we left some plays on the field.
Hey, real quick, I gotta give respect to Josh Allen, guys. I was bashing Allen, and I watched that game. It was like, okay, Josh Allen can play. All right. I had to throw it out there because I was bashing Allen.
6 years in,
I was bashing Allen. I was like, "Yo, Allen is good.
0-6 in overtime."
I know
that's your boy.
Mm-hmm.
Allen was. They
changed the overtime rule for Josh Allen.
They did.
Not in the regular season, though. Now they had it. Did I mention this off air? I believe I did. When we were talking about the Patrick reading the receiver and throwing to a spot, and he ran the wrong whatever. That same thing with Gabe Davis there.
Davis.
All he had to do was like break to the inside. That's the way Josh saw it. But Gabe saw it as, hey, if I go to the corner, this is a touchdown. I'm wide open. Josh throws it to the middle, and they're kicking a field goal instead of saying we're out of here with a win.
Well, if you taking Gabe Davis in the free agency, will you pick him up?
Heck no. I mean, it could be a lack. Well, that's not. I mean, it could be a lack of confidence. They've kind of.
Now he had, other than that play, he had a pretty good game.
He had a really good game.
Gabe Davis,
but he's like this. Yeah. He's up and down. I mean, he made, I guess, his fame in the 13-second game when he had like 8 touchdowns.
Everybody thought he was the second coming of Jerry
and it was
Rice
like, this guy's just forget it. They've got their number 2. That's here we go. And it just hasn't happened for him. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Maybe it's a South Florida thing. He was a UCF guy. I think MVS went to USF. So anyway,
research, research, man.
I'll give you props under. He played a much better game than Justin Herbert did last night against the Ravens.
He did.
Justin Herbert is a bust. B-U-S-T. He is a bust. I don't care if they fire their head. I mean, Frank Reich gets fired after 10 games, and
he needed to be fired.
And the Chargers head coach has been there for 3.5 years, and he still doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't.
Obviously, Kellen Moore isn't the answer because they're 3-7,
4 and 6,
4 and 6,
4 and 7, or 4 and 8,
4 and 7, whatever it is. They suck.
It's one more.
The Ravens gave him that football game last night.
They
had so many opportunities.
Every opportunity.
We got a little bit of breaking news. We got one more guy that's gonna be coming back. He's gonna be getting off the commissioner exempt list, and that is Justin Ross. So with that said,
you know what, man.
All the stuff that was against him has been dropped. So it ain't nothing against this man.
You know what? Even both sides. Even before he got into the incident, he wasn't getting no playing time for him.
They gonna get him some playing time.
They may give him another chance if that's the case.
Yeah. So with that said, Nick, before we close out, give the sponsors one more show a shout out.
All right, we want to thank both these guys. First, Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. You can reach Dave at 816-405-5831. Got the QR code there. I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take that picture. It'll go right to Dave's page. You fill some information out. He'll give you a call, and he can just analyze your current mortgage situation. Don't be surprised and don't be confused. Some people have great mortgages. Some people need to refinance. Some people need to get those 30% credit cards off the books. Let Dave take a look at your entire loan situation. Call him at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is
pretty good.
That never gets old. Never know.
They never get old.
We got very catchy. Very catchy too, sir.
We got your Hall of Famer real estate agent here.
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of numbers, let's go ahead and talk about him.
All right, my good friend Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group, part of Keller Williams Partners. You can reach Eric at 816-729-3785. esells.kc@gmail.com. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, doesn't matter the price range. If you got some family or friends that are moving in town, they need somebody they can trust. Give Eric a call at 816-729-3785. There is nobody better at what he does than Eric Haynes.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who.
And a
sponsor of the Who.
No matter if you looking for a tiny home, a big home, he's gonna get it out.
Makes no difference. Eric's your guy.
Eric brings the house. He brings the house.
Absolutely.
Go ahead,
absolutely.
Go ahead and give a shout out, Dre, to everybody.
What up, Kareem? You know, real quick, Kareem says that Williams is a special, as a legit special teamer, and I agree with that, guy. Williams is a good special teamer.
Is it just me? Is Kareem turning into a mouthpiece for the coach?
Man, listen, he is. Listen.
Come on, Kareem, man. I need some love too. You know,
hey,
it's like a ventriloquist.
Hey, man, the man speaks volumes. The man speaks volumes. He speaks my lingo, I would say.
Evidently.
So we got Benson, DeCarlo. You know, of course, you know he's a favorite on the show. Tom Hood. Start becoming a more vocal.
That's a
part
new
of the show.
name, yeah. Tom
T Hood. I'm gonna call him T
Even
Hood.
though Tom picked the Raiders, upset the Chiefs. We still love you, Tom.
What do you got, Tom?
I kind of understand why, but then again, you know,
I can't blame him.
I can't either at the time because the first half looked like the Chiefs was gonna be upset, right?
Oh,
but again, guys,
thank
you for the love. Thank you.
You had doubt. Don't get me started.
Right.
The only doubt I had is that whether they cover the spread or not. Okay.
Yeah, I know you're worried about your reputation. You didn't care if the Chiefs won.
I didn't pick that game.
Which was crazy. Watson was getting beat by Meyer though. Meyer was getting up on Watson. He targeted. They targeted. I think the game plan was to target the third corner, and they did.
Raiders have some pretty damn good receivers. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I would love
got two young tight ends that are going to be really good too.
Yeah,
I would love to have Myers in the Chiefs uniform, number 16. I love. If you talk about
give me Myers and Renfro. Give me one of those two next year.
Myers came out there and put on the show. I said, man, he was confident. Hey, Jacoby, y'all see that catch he did? He went to the sideline and mugged and stared down the coach. He stared down somebody in the Chiefs uniform. I said, well, he earned it.
There's going to be a lot of really good free agents. They're going to be coming from the Raiders this year because they ain't buying into the Antonio Pierce thing. That ain't happening. He was terrible yesterday. Yeah, oh my God, he couldn't make a decision on the sidelines. But you be rah, but no.
You got to think about it though. That's anybody to go against Andy Reid in that coaching staff.
Not necessarily.
Think about the Chiefs coaching stats.
Right.
They got a lot of rings over there. The D-line coach got a lot of rings. Spags got a lot of rings. Andy Reid got a couple of rings.
Matt
Nagy got some. That coaching staff is a heck of that's a Hall of Fame coaching staff.
Pretty good, man. It really is.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, can we get a shout out to Andy Reid for real under his tree? Like everybody up under Andy Reid leaves and blossoms and become very successful.
Not with
Belichick. They horrible. They leave and they shit a goose egg. You know what I'm saying? So. But honestly, though, Andy Reid is just an amazing guy, man.
Why is he still there? I mean, it's clear now. I mean, we didn't get into it, and I want to get into it on Wednesday's show. But
okay, baby.
We keep going. Let's go.
All right, we can keep going. Alex Smith yesterday. I mean, just with Randy Moss and Ryan on there,
Teddy Bruschi
said the truth.
Obliterated.
He has he just does not understand why he thinks that Tom Brady would make the comment about the league being different and being soft. And and he said, listen, right on air to those guys, he played in the worst division in football his entire career. And those guys
Rex Ryan's head was
rolling. And he was there. He was with the Bills and with the Jets during that era. And he laid an egg every single time. And you know what? Alex is absolutely right. That dynasty was the responsibility of one person and one person only. And that was Tom Brady. And he is the GOAT. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm sorry, I love you, Patrick, unless you prove me wrong, and I hope I do, and I'll live long enough to see it, that if you can win 7 Super Bowls and tie him or make an 8th, God love you, man. I would love to see it. You would forever be known as the greatest in any generation for the next 50 to 100 years if the NFL plays that long. But my God, that comment by Alex Smith was just absolutely perfect. It was brilliant. He's gotten so much better on the broadcast when he started.
He do. I love Alex Smith, man. I love him.
And
he did get a whole lot.
He gets it, man. I mean, he played with arguably Mike Singletary had to be one of the worst head coaches of all time.
Well, much as he did as a player, it took him a while to get rolling.
Even under Harbaugh, and the fact that he got stuck behind Kaepernick after he had that injury. He gets traded to Kansas City. He plays Alex Smith football, and then he tutors Patrick Mahomes for a year.
There you go. He tutored Patrick Mahomes.
He got paid a lot of money by the Washington Redskins / Commanders. During that trade, he got a huge contract, and he earned.
He played pretty good though. He played pretty good over there.
He did play really good. He played really good. So I mean, but props to him, man. That was must see TV.
Great
if you haven't seen the clip, watch it.
I guess the lead there though is the Tom Brady comments. Now he's been saying that for a few years, in terms of the offense's responsibility to protect themselves. The players aren't getting coached as much. And I think that the biggest part of that you see is I think offensive line play, because of the lack of hitting during the course of the season, the cutting back on OTAs with live periods in training camp, not as many live periods. So, I mean, at a certain point, it's going to devolve. I don't know how offensive linemen really become good at their craft without as much hitting as they used to have. But, eventually, maybe it just turns into flag football. Hopefully we're long gone when that happens.
Well,
if it's flag football, I'm done.
But if you missed it, you know me. I'll find it. Let's roll it.
Do you agree with Tom Brady?
I think a lot here, Sam. Listen, first off, let me just press this. I love Tom to go.
Bring it, Alex. Bring it.
First off, he hasn't been retired that long. He was just playing in the current game. Like, is he discounting that one? And then my biggest complaint with this, and no offense to you guys, for all of you guys. He played in the most uncompetitive division, I think, in NFL history. I mean, you come out of training camp, you got to take it to the playoffs right away. Like, talk about mediocre. I completely agree with this. I know he's referencing the rule changes.
Do you agree with that?
He played for real. It was never competitive.
Wait a second. All due respect to Rex, they did get the 2 AFC championship games in that era. They lost them both, but he did get there a couple times.
They had a couple. He had some teams that were outstanding.
But overall,
every year
the Patriots did to the East what the Chiefs do to the West now.
But you know what the difference is? What I think is fascinating about that's a great point you make, Lou, is that the Patriots, you knew you weren't beating them. The Dolphins,
absolutely.
The Jets, the Bills,
they're all playing.
It wasn't happening. No matter what we did to the coaching staff, whatever we did to the roster, all they did was try and find players that could make a difference, and they couldn't find enough of them because Tom Brady was so great. And Belichick, to his credit, is an incredible defensive mind. For the Chiefs, it's a little bit different. It's kind of a different era. And you look at the Broncos and you look at the Chargers and you look at the Raiders, and I've said this before, and I will say it till they stop. Maybe the Broncos are starting to do it now. You build a team that isn't built to beat the Chiefs. You build a team that the Chiefs can't beat. And the Broncos this year,
say that,
giving them props, because I'm telling you right now, I can't believe I'm about to say this. At 1:15 on Monday, November 27th,
I got
the
you.
Broncos season thus far reminds me of the Chiefs team that went 1-5 and didn't lose the rest of the way. Russell Wilson is playing Alex Smith football. Check down, run when you have to, take a deep shot, and pray that your receivers make spectacular catches. And so the Broncos have kind of, they're starting to figure it out. I am more worried about the Broncos in the future, regardless if Wilson's the quarterback or not. I don't think he's going to be the guy that leads them to the promised land.
Yesterday.
But I'm telling you right now, the Chargers haven't done it. The Raiders haven't done it. The Broncos are starting to get it because, after all, Sean Payton's making $17-18 million a year, forced to inherit Russell Wilson. So what has he done? He gets wasted by 6, gives up 70 points. They start to figure stuff out. He changes the philosophy. He changes the offense. And now, I watched a lot of that Broncos game yesterday. And, listen, Russell Wilson isn't the great quarterback that he was, but he's evolving into a steady quarterback that with that defense and that mindset and that coaching staff believing in themselves, they're going to win close games. Now, they're beating up on some pretty crappy teams. Let's be honest with you. The Browns gave that, game.
You said all that to just go into timeout. You don't come on the Chiefs and give no Broncos.
I have to do it.
Real quick. Got the man of the hour just responded. Dave Purdy.
Get him out of here.
Wow.
You done.
Dave Purdy had just responded. Dave Purdy had just responded, guys, and said, "Thank you all. Great show.
Love you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Absolutely.
Again,
he's pretty good.
You lucky
At a
we
certain
good.
point, Sean Payton was going to figure something out, right?
But
at a certain point, he had to figure something out. It's just,
did.
You have to coach the players that you have and put them in the best positions to succeed. It would have been real easy after that 70-point game to just say, Vance Joseph, get out of here.
Yep.
But he stuck with them. They got rid of Clark. They got rid of Gregory. Maybe they were just bad seeds in the locker room. That's kind of what it looks like from the outside looking in. And he's got it rolling. And again, the next point, they're winning games in a kind of like the way they have to win them, but they really haven't beaten any outside of the Chiefs, a really good team. We'll see if they can continue to do this. Now the Browns starting, an inexperienced quarterback, he goes out, third team guy. But again, they ran for 169 yards on the Browns defense when they hadn't given up. I think it was some historic numbers. They weren't giving that up for an entire game against teams. So
what's crazy? You said that, Luke,
total yardage.
Absolutely. Real quick, Luke, they beat Patrick Mahomes and that good defense was Kansas City, and they beat the Browns. The Browns was rolling. Even with the backup quarterback, they was rolling. They went out there and played Broncos football. They played Broncos football.
Yeah,
they played their football.
They have to do to win. You can't take that away.
Absolutely.
I'm the only one going to be left on this screen on this show because everybody that's speaking about the Broncos will be muted.
We're just speaking the truth. Hey, 4 guys at the bar, man. Hey, there's no ties.
That's all I hear. That's all I
hear. They got
Houston. They got Houston on the road on Sunday. That's going to decide. Whoever wins that football game is going to be in the playoffs.
There is a mess at the bottom of the AFC. Woo! You look at from the, I guess, number 5 through number maybe 10. Any combination of those teams can get the wild card spots. Any combination at this point. And that goes. Obviously, you got the Bills sitting there at 6-6. They got the Chiefs, and I think the Cowboys coming up after their bye. Who else is at the bottom there? That now that Houston has fallen out, the Colts are in the 7 hole. Are they going to stay there? They're doing
Gardner Minshew in the postseason.
They're doing it with mirrors, smoking
mirrors. And when you say all that, Lou, and who's had the best quarterback out of all those teams, and just now their offense is looking like they just figured it out. It's gonna be a cakewalk. It's gonna be a cakewalk for the Chiefs. I said it's gonna be. I'm not scared of Baltimore. I'm not scared of Houston.
I'm just saying.
But I'm scared of Jaguars.
Those 3 spots. It's gonna be a mad dash. It's gonna come down to the last game of the season.
Don't Don't you say nothing about no goddamn Steelers.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say this real quick. From what I seen from the Raiders, what they did, they found a formula to combat what Kansas City like to do. They went after the third cornerback. They targeted him.
They were smart.
They targeted him.
It didn't last. They couldn't sustain it.
But the formula was target the weakness, and they went after the weakness.
Yeah,
they went after the weakness.
Yeah,
no.
I still wouldn't say Jalen Watson is the weakness. I mean, he's just he might be the third corner. He might be the fourth corner behind Joshua Williams.
But you gotta attack him somehow. You gotta find some type of because Snead and McDuffie are playing lights out right now. So you gotta attack somebody. And they attack Watson.
The other part of it is what team has a third receiver that's that good. Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to, if you're not going to, okay, well, Devontae, we're not going to throw you the ball. You got to throw it to this guy because, Snead's on you. No, they're going to keep pumping it to him. So I hear what you're saying, but I don't think they found anything. Spags is still going to get his blitz pressures up there. And
we haven't talked about the defense on the show.
I know. We'll do that Wednesday.
Think about it. Speaking of like the guy that's really balling out on that defense is number 23. I still can't believe he left. How he got out of there? How he got out of San Diego or where you want to Los Angeles Chargers? Where you want to call him nowadays? I don't know. I don't see how they let him go, but man,
what do you do when Nick Bolton comes back? Because Drew Tranquil.
Do we keep him?
Well, Tranquil's typically not that middle linebacker.
Yeah,
he just
Willie Gay. I don't think Willie Gay is going to be back
because he's a smart dude. He can. I mean, again, Tranquil can play just about anywhere, and that's what. Again, we've talked about this 100 times, and just he's a Spags kind of guy, really smart. Kind of like Antonio Pierce was for him with the Giants.
With the Giants, good point.
Like a coach on the field. You can put him anywhere. He can cover running backs. He can cover tight ends. He can play in the middle. He can play the weak side. I mean, Drew is a great player.
Drew is a great pickup, guys from Kansas City.
But it was a 1-year deal, and now it's like,
what do you do now?
Pretty clear. I'm telling you, from what I'm hearing, he's made it pretty clear he wants to stay in Kansas City.
He got to stay.
I don't think he wants to leave. But
I don't think he's going.
If he gets offered some big money, teams are have to like stand up and say, "Wait a second."
There's one other guy that's looking good too, Leo Chenal, man. I like him too. Mid 54.
Leo's an athlete now.
Yeah, but he's gotten so much better.
Former Chief who?
We call him AKA Death Row because that's what he used to wear on his arms when he come out for games. But we'll save all that for Wednesday. We will talk
16 brothers and sisters. Come on.
16 brothers and also he was the oldest?
No.
He was.
No.
So with that said, guys.
You guys already forgot all my clues. I'm hurt.
That's all right.
I'm not doing Lou. I am not doing my job.
I can't remember what I had for turkey dinner. Give me a break.
I'm here to teach the youth, and you're not listening. Take notes, guys. Come on.
We'll be back. We'll be back Wednesday with Chiefs Who with Lou.
That's right.
Hold on.
Before we go, we'll be tomorrow. We're going to do a one-on-one with Aaron Wilson, our NFL insider. He's going to be joining us every Tuesday. Show's going to air at 6:00 Central Time. So watch Aaron and I banter about some old school football. He's our NFL insider. He mainly covers the Houston Texans, but he has been doing this for 30 plus years, and we're lucky to get him to commit to come on every week. So Aaron, welcome to the family, and we look forward to tomorrow. And then Wednesday, the 4 guys in the bar will be back, and God knows it's free. It's Free Willy. I'm going to call it Free Willy Wednesday.
Free your Willy.
We can do anything we want to.
We won't be doing
that. Say anything we want to. No plan whatsoever. I know, I've digressed. Hey, you know what?
Won't be doing that. So, Chief Who.
I meant free flowing,
Chief
okay?
Who.
Okay.
Hey, maybe
you young guys. I swear to God, maybe we get old words.
Maybe we give out some game balls as well.
Let me go in the air
game balls, Free Willy. It's all going south on this
4
show.
4 guys at a bar, man. Hey, we got 4 guys.
See what happens when you stay till after close. All hell breaks loose.
All right, guys.
That was the last call for alcohol.
Shut the bar down, Todd.
All right, guys.
Shut the bar down, Hense.
All right, we out of here.
Peace out, everybody. We'll see you
Wednesday.
All right.